Yes, those things are important, but I don't think it's that simple. I mean, human beings need meaning, and for the most part, we find meaning through contribution, which sometimes means working, right? So I would say, and I know Pete pretty well, and he doesn't just go on his bike and get vegetables. He does quite a lot more than that. Yeah. And I think you and I, Dave, were talking about this earlier, like, those first few months of fire, like, what's it like? Well, there's this unwinding process that happens, and you do your vegetables, and you're cooking, and you have friends over, and things like that. But then a day does come where you wake up, and you're like, geez, now what, And all of the people that I've met who have retired early are big contributors. In fact, going back to this gentleman's question about why I made the documentary, when I went to the Chautauqua in Ecuador with all of these bloggers, before I went, I was looking at the agenda and I thought, this is kind of weird, like a bunch of white people like flying down to Ecuador to talk about getting rich, right? Like, what is that all about? That's kind of bougie, kind of weird, But on the schedule was a day of service, a day of community service dedicated to the local community. And that's when I thought, okay, these people are up to something different than just getting rich, and it is about contribution.
So Dave, what happened to you? You said you were bored after a couple of months. Are you back to full-time work?
No full-time work. After, actually, just before I retired, I was talking to some friends at work, and I was sort of sharing, trying to drag them into this type of stuff. They said, oh, you should write this stuff down, maybe write a book or something. So, I don't know about writing a book, it seems a bit official and a bit serious. So I thought, and one mate convinced me, just write it down, and maybe you use it later. And I thought, I can't have to write it down. So I wrote down a bunch of notes, and then I was kind of looking at this notebook after being retired for a few months, and I thought, maybe I'll start a blog. So I started a blog and started to write sort of each week, and then I was compiling the notes and going through it, and then I really enjoyed the process of writing, so I enjoy spending a couple of days a week doing that now, and responding to my readers, like emails and comments and stuff, and getting feedback and new ideas for more stuff to write about, and just hearing that it's been helpful or that it's been interesting and was a different perspective to what they'd heard, or just feeling that people have got a use from something that you've created is